Hi, I'm Lisa Sim for WatchMojo, and today we're here with Veronica because last night she partied like a rock star, but you would never tell by the way that I did her makeup. So let's just go over what you should really do to make it look like you didn't party, you've been a good girl. What we're gonna start with is just an all-over base. Something that's gonna cut the redness has to have a little bit of yellow. You know, alcohol, it really dilates all the blood vessels. It makes you look all bloodshot and everything. So we're gonna take a little bit of warm beige. It's one of my favorite foundations from Sim Minerals. Start in the areas that really require the most coverage, usually around the nose, the forehead, the chin, just under the eyes. Basically, that's where all the broken capillaries happen, you know? Let's just say, like, you know, you were puking last night and like everything like blows up. This is a way to conceal it. The little bit of yellow is going to like absorb the redness. Sometimes at the end of the night, people kind of look green. So we're gonna go into Sand Dune, which is one of a bronzer shade that has a little bit more warmth to it. So we're just gonna hit the cheeks, middle of the forehead with that as well. So it just basically looks like you did get a little bit of sunlight. You hadn't been partying in a darkened nightclub. Next step is all about conceal, conceal, conceal. Conceal your sins. So we're gonna use Wonder Cover. It's a very concentrated concealer. You wanna apply it with a camouflage brush. This one's called a pointed camouflage. It's a cat tongue shape. It's flat, it's kind of like an oval, but it comes to a point at the tip. Ideal for really fitting into the hollow of the under eye. Don't go all the way up into the lash line. It takes away that little bit of natural shading that happens. It actually makes the eye look smaller. Really concentrate the concealer into the deepest part of the hollow, and then just follow up by going anywhere else that has a little bit of excess redness still showing through. So when it comes to having eyes that are just really poochy, you know, what we wanna do is when you're talking to people, you want them to look up. So it's all about like lifting everything. So doing the eyebrows, making sure that when you do shape the brow, that you're really filling in the hairs that are at the very top of the brow. That way it automatically gives that lifted appearance. Brush it through afterwards so it looks natural. Rule of thumb, blend it out like crazy. You don't want any hard lines. We'll switch over to just a little angle and we're gonna like back up the lashes. So we're gonna just want to make the lash line look even thicker, and that way all the attention goes up. No one's gonna be looking at the action going on underneath. Veronica also has some lash extensions going on, which is a godsend for those days where you like have no abilities, no dexterity to like use an eyelash curler and like the mascara. You're not gonna end up with blobs all over the place. So eyelash extensions, thumbs up. So basically line the back of the lashes. You wanna get at least like a 20-degree angle and just extend a little bit past the eye, blend out with the fingertips. That way when the eyes are open, the angle of the eye, the trajectory is gonna be, again, lifting it up, not drawing it down. Another hint is taking something that has a little bit of shimmer to it, maybe something that's a little bit more golden. And we're gonna use this one on the lid. All the darkness happens on that inner corner. So really start right into the hollow, closest to the nose, and then blend towards the outer corner. And really just leave it on the lower lid. You don't need to like put it up underneath the arch of the brow. The next place that you're gonna wanna do that is actually on the inner corner and underneath a little bit. It's gonna look like you actually had 8 hours of sleep. What I'm gonna recommend, this is a taupe pencil, but you can always take a very light blue, even a white eyeliner pencil. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna do it on the waterline. So by doing this, we're gonna cut the redness. We're also going to make the white of the eye look bigger. Next step would be draw more attention there. What I'm gonna use on you is probably just a lip stain. It brings life to the face. So what I'm using is the Outlast from CoverGirl. It doesn't look like you've tried too hard. It's not like a layer that's coming off the lips. Do you know what I mean by that? It's not like, hey, my lips and then, oh, like 5 inches of lip gloss. So this is really embedding the color inside, and that way it's like foolproof. You know, you can drink 5 cups of coffee and it's not gonna come off on the cup. So finish off the look is that we're gonna add a little bit of color to the middle of the apples of the cheeks, and that way it looks really flush. It looks like a really, really healthy complexion. And hit the apples. That way it looked like you just, you know, came off a jog or something. You have the stamina, you're healthy. And then the last step is just to make it look all fresh and dewy and add some hydration back to the skin, because I don't know if you realize that, but like, alcohol deprives your skin of so much moisture. You're like dry as a bone the next morning type of thing. So we're gonna just mist it. We're gonna close your eyes. It takes away any powdery finish, it leaves a dewy finish, it makes the skin look refreshed and hydrated, and you're ready to roll. Anyways, I'm Lisa Sim for WatchMojo. Thanks a lot, Veronica, for being our model for Party Like a Rock Star.